Hello, dear all. I just want to welcome my English-speaking crowd here. I want to address today with you a topic that comes up regularly in private sessions, in talks that I give to groups. And that is, how do we distinguish a difference between self-care, self-awareness with others, and selfishness? Like where's actually the defined line where a person is considered selfish, self-centered, self-obsessed, as they call it. Just yesterday I had a talk with someone, and hopefully I'm gonna share this video with that person. And really like honoring your space, your energy, your vibe, so to speak, at that moment. And you don't want anyone coming and like obsessing about whatever worries them or whatever concerns them. And I just want to fill you in the examples that I get often. For instance, I often hear from people, my relatives, my parents, my sisters and brothers, they feel like they could come and teach me how to live life, or they could suggest stuff to me that I do wrong, or they could try to correct me at the moment where I choose something for myself or for my family. And in the past, people say, in the past I felt very uncomfortable. That's a definition of a good sister. This is a definition of a good relative, where you just like allow them to express themselves. And they, for instance, they tell you off and they explain to you things that you are not necessarily good enough, or you need to do this and this better, or in such and such order, or in such and such conduct. And I used to like and like take it in and like pay attention and etc. But then at one point, people understand that this is not necessarily the most healthy approach, because usually when people do that, they know that you know how it's good for you. They know that you're actually a conscious person, and you know what to choose for yourself, and you know what you're doing right now. You're self-aware to some extent. Really, what's going on? People that come to you and feel like they could address you and they could teach you and they could order you the right way and the only way and the particular way and the right conduct, etc. It's only their own bitterness about things that they didn't do for themselves. They're like very not in peace inside, and they're very not in, so to speak, in harmony with themselves, in a good place, so to speak, and they just like to take it all out. So they find a person that would be able to listen till the end, and they would just like let that steam come out. And yes, of course, they will make it all about you, how wrong you are, and what you're doing not good enough, and how you should be conducting. But really, it's their own discomfort. So honestly, like practically, when people ask me, Miriam, I feel very uncomfortable when I set my boundaries. You teach us a lot. You say to us, know your boundaries, know what you truly want. Just, again, this is from conversations that I recently had with people, where they say, I truly don't want this job, but because it came my way, I will accept it. So we go on explaining that really there has to be a choice. You have to decide for yourself what job you want, and in what intensity, and for how much are you willing to declare your time and your qualifications and your expertise in this particular field. And just wait calmly that this is going to truly come your way. Believe in that amazing person that you are, that it's coming your way. So instead, people are training themselves that there's like some disconnect that we discovered yesterday in my private session that I had with someone, that they truly want something for themselves, but then there is like a blank, And then universe forces them to consider something, whether it's a marriage or it's some friendship or it's job position or anything, yeah, or vacation, so to speak. Like somebody is forcing them, or something, so to speak, is forcing them to consider, okay, you always wanted a vacation, here there's a free discounted proposal, it has to fit those criteria, and you like forced to accept it. So the similar things happens with marriages. People like, I know what I want, but it's so far off, and this guy showed up and he's, so to speak, okay, and why not, and I need to get married, or I want another child, blah 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 blah. So a person kind of allows themselves to agree to something that they truly don't want. And I often see that disconnect between when you say, what do you truly want, and then ask them, but what do you have, and who made you accept that? And it's like, I took it, I went for this job, and I went for this marriage, and I went to this vacation, and I decided to eat something that I don't like, and I decided to keep myself busy with some latest gossips. I know I truly don't want that, and it always happens. And why does it happen? Because practically speaking, between the choice that you make a decision today, I make a decision today, I'm only going to eat this, or I make a decision today, this is the practices that I'm going to practice. Not because it's going to satisfy somebody, or it's going to look cool, or it's going to make me be part of a certain group. I'm going to be part of certain yoga group in Boca, for instance, or I'm going to be part of a certain person that constantly goes to gym. I don't want to fit in. I truly want to connect and feel, what is it that I want? What type of sports, what type of diet, what type of relationship, what type of friendship, what type of surrounding, what type of quiet time? What is it that I truly want? And the main thing that what people don't do, people don't act on it. It's, so to speak, like you say to yourself, if I want that type of a man to be attracted to me and I'll get married to him, what is it that I need to do today, tomorrow, a day after tomorrow to suit those vibes, to meet those vibrations? And that's where we got into a discussion with a client, with a person I am long with, and she's long with me. So the discussion was in regards to a marriage partner. What is it that she truly wants and what she agrees to? It's two different worlds, and we understood that she doesn't do much towards her wishes, right? She doesn't do much towards her goals. She just passively, so to speak, waits, maintaining her vibrations, her energy level, her consciousness as it is now. Nothing changes. So it's more likely she's not going to get there. So at some point she just gives up, she drops the ball, so to speak, and she agrees to whatever approaches her. So she has actually a big resistance, this particular person, about like rich people. Yeah, and whenever I suggest, do you want like a rich guy? Do you want to marry someone who understands the needs and the nature of a woman, who wants her to rest and just be in a relaxed mode, so to speak, and allow herself to just pamper herself day in and day out, just to allow herself to mature into herself, maybe throw herself into deep therapy and cleanse all the old patterns from the family that she's carrying on herself that don't suit her anymore. So each time I bring this up, she says, no, I'm actually not interested in a very rich person, because she has this taboo with the rich person, that the rich person is snobby, doesn't like people, judges people, makes other people feel uncomfortable in their presence. They're very kind of like up there, so to speak, yeah? So she wants to be very down to earth, very approachable, and she wants a partner like that. So I told her, I said, do you know that it's not true? Maybe some rich people are like that, maybe some poor people are like that. It has nothing to do with the quality of life that the person has. And she slowly is agreeing, but then again we go back to the same pattern. But the point here that I want to bring up is that a lot of people have that approach, that a rich person, you know, all they do is like self-obsess. They go from yoga to Pilates, from Pilates to meditation, from meditation to massage, from massage to relaxation, I don't know, red light therapy and this therapy, and they just like self-obsess. When is there time to read a book for your baby, and where is there time to just like tidy up your house, and where is there time to speak to a friend and uplift their spirit, and like enough of this therapy and that therapy, enough of this yoga and that yoga. Like where do you set yourself as a giver and a taker? How does that work? So I want to clearly define, and that came up few times in my conversation, and when it comes up a few times again and again, I decide to make a video about it. So I think the clear difference between self-consumed person and a person that knows how to select for themselves and stand by for the choices they make, and actually move towards those choices and make steps towards that future or that realization or that manifestation that they want for themselves. The difference is between it's for those that are very scared when they hear about setting boundaries and selecting for themselves. They're right away scared that they're going to be defined as selfish. So a selfish person, I would say, would be as such. Let's say you come to a company and you have like a few friends there and you're exhausted. You thought you would pull it through, and it's a good friends and good vibes and good relaxed vibes, and you are in a perfect cafe and you love it, and you love the surroundings, and you like the laugh, and you like the settings, and it's very relaxing, but you're exhausted. Let's say maybe you didn't sleep last night, maybe your baby kept you up, maybe something or someone exhausted you. So you're just like sitting there and you treasure every single person in that party, and you just excuse yourself and you say, hey guys, I have to go and sleep at home. So that is a healthy boundaries, where you really know what you need right now, and you really choose what you need right now. You don't need exercise, you don't need to kind of express yourself or collect latest news or catch up with your friends. You truly need a good sleep, and you stand up because you honor yourself. I remember doing that with my friends. I used to go to hot yoga a lot before actually during the beginning of the first trimester of my baby. I was like starving for hot yoga, and at one point, my daughter just used to come with me, my oldest daughter, and one time she comes and the yoga teacher says, oh, where's your mom? So my daughter said actually she decided today to skip all the yoga classes. Sometimes I used to take one after another, like for 2 hours hot yoga. You know, I was like really deeply in need of yoga. So she says, my mom just decided she wants to take a walk at the beach. And the teacher just looks at her and says, I honor that. If you like truly tune into yourself, it's not what's right. It's not what's important in somebody's eyes, or if you stick to some practice, you religiously have to be there no matter what. You have to obey, you have to be present, you have to continue stretching. If you miss one day, you miss that stretch, and then you go back to the same blah 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 blah. Really, honestly, is that state of mind that today I select new, today I choose new. If I have to choose certain practice every day, then I choose today that practice. I didn't start choosing certain discipline or certain kind of obligations 5 years ago, 20 years ago, and since then I'm obligated like a slave. No, each day I select, I choose, I pick. And it's so true that you honor. And interestingly enough, with a lot of you who come and learn with me, who is knocking here, who is requesting, could you just turn it off? I'm not inviting anyone now. I'm just gonna offer a talk, okay? Thank you. With a lot of you, I speak about the changes of vibrations in, so to speak, woman's expression right now. Before, it was a really praiseworthy for a woman to serve and to be comfortable and to be by the side of a man and to give him all the love and attention. Not to say that you don't give anymore to your man the love and attention, but you, so to speak, like you're like his extension. And it says clearly that Chava was created from man for men, yeah. And we kind of upgrade that with those that come to me privately, and we speak a lot about that. And there is an element where I bring up and I say, you are your own energy from God, and he is his own energy. And we speak a lot about it, how it was a certain setup and it accomplished what it accomplished. Right now it changes, and it changes for a man and it changes for a woman, and a woman needs to redefine herself as she is for herself. Yes, it's amazing to be there for someone, but it's definitely more central for a person to discover themselves for themselves. And a lot of you kind of take it in because we're not comfortable, we're not used to that identity. A woman looked after herself, so a man would look at her and choose her. A woman would look after her beauty for her loved one. A woman would dress beautiful for her loved one. She refined her character traits for the man of her life. She would become more kind and more giving for him. It's like so brainwashed in every single woman to do that because of to be suitable, to be comfortable, to be a match for somebody as such, to be up to that level. So we're not trained, we're not wired to just look at ourselves as I'm an individual and I would do these things just for me. Yes, maybe as an abundant feeling that I have in me, I would share, but not initially that I betray myself and I do in order to please or suit or be comfortable. So just recently, again, I spoke to someone where she got a little bit confused. She said, Miriam, when I redefine myself, like I'm that, my own energy that just God decided to separate for man and woman, and we kind of channeling God into this world on our body, through our bodies, through our human self, right? And I just get lost in this superiority. Like I feel sometimes, like we mentioned, where's the difference between being selfish and being in honor and in self-love. So a lot of people get lost, and she's like, I feel like I walk into a crowd of people or even among my family members, I feel like I have this like a flashing light, just like I have a flashing light here from someone. I have this flashing light, like I'm a queen, yeah, and I feel like really deeply disgusted with myself, like I don't want to generate that. I'm a queen and I deserve the best, and from now on I'm the queen and I deserve the queen's service, etc., etc. So I told her, I said, there is a difference between you declaring or you showing with your look or with your gesture that you're a queen, and you're just sitting and people serve you. There is a huge difference between that. And how do you accomplish that? Where you kind of that snobby looking person, where you decided you are a queen-like and you need everyone's service at your feet and at your just available for you, and you like look at everyone like they're your servants, or there's just that presence. I'm sure you had that in your life. You observed that there's a person could be not declaring anything. They are not declaring their star. They're not declaring they need the best gifts. They're not declaring they need the best recognition. But yet people give them that. So how does that done? What's the difference? What's that element that we are not catching here? I never teach people that to come to your workplace or to come to your boss or to come to your husband or your wife and say, from now on, that is the level of the quality I need. I teach you to be in touch with that element of you that you just quietly sit, and people want to give you, and people want to serve you, and people want to be in contact with you, to just in your presence they feel good, and they don't know what makes them feel good. They just want to give you a gift that you deserve, so to speak. Like, what is it that makes people feel that way? And if you have a conflict there between, no, that's a little bit snobby, no, I'm not going to allow myself to set boundaries like that, I'm not going to declare my price for my time, I'm not going to declare my hourly rates, I'm not going to declare that, I need ongoing 2 nannies in the house, and it's a little bit too snobby. After all, I committed to have a kid, and I need to spend time with the kid, or etc. Oh, that's a little bit too expensive for me, like this outfit, I'm not going to do that. It's like, why that happens, why we are doubtful, because we are not clear what creates that vibe of a queen or that princess or that person that attracts that attention without saying, or without a certain look, or without a certain attitude, or without a certain declaration. We are not clear. And I'm going to tell you what makes the difference. So the difference between a person who has to reinstate again and again, actually that's my price, or actually that's what I deserve, actually my time worth that much, actually I need that, or to give me this type of consideration and honor and acceptance. Where do we start, right? So I want you to try this exercise and say to yourself, I'm going to decide for myself, whether it's with clients or with the lover, or with the relationship with your friends, or with your parents, or with your siblings, etc. I'm going to decide what is it that I want. And I gave an example for a friend of mine that we were speaking yesterday. I said to her, you could say the perfect honorable setup with parents, with the older child, let's say 40 plus years old child, and a parent. The parent feels like they're here to teach and preach and everything else, and a child could either react at that moment, or declare, hey, just stop, that's my boundaries, or put down the phone, or never call them back, or yell back at them and say, listen, I could also teach you, you're also not perfect, or why do you choose to teach me when it's such a terrible time in my life, etc. Or you could just say, I'm so glad it came my way, so it brought to my attention that I need to reselect. And what I'm selecting for myself, let's say me and my parent, I want a mutual belief system. For instance, they could look at me and they could say, she got so much resources, she has such depth, and she has so much wisdom, and she has so much understanding. I believe she could get that for herself. I'm not going to teach her what she needs to do. I'm not going to direct her because I'm wiser, I lived a longer life. I'm not going to put her down. I'm not going to judge her. I'm just going to believe. And similarly, you could say in regards to your parents, let's say, instead of preaching and teaching and directing and explaining and getting annoyed and getting upset back at them and they're upset at you, you just sit and you say, I want to look at my parents and I want to say, they have so much in them. They know how to choose right for themselves. And if they choose something that I don't agree with, I want to be able to respect that way. I was also speaking to someone about their kids, and I said that's the highest level of consciousness, in my opinion, to look at the older children, and I'm talking about 18 years and plus, 16 years and plus, and just to say that even though it doesn't suit me, even though I might not agree with some part of their choices, but I honor their path. I respect and love their path. And if they need some of my help, they know where to find me. This like hands-off, so to speak, relationship, but with a lot of love and acceptance. That energy of love and acceptance allow people to grow and mature and develop and get young for parents that are getting older. Because if we in our thought think that our parents getting older and they need more and more of our help and our attention, we are making them older, because our attention makes that more concentrated. If we say they're so deep, they're so wise, they're so with it, they probably could live another 20 years easy. And you give energy for that 20 years to be packed with easy flow and love and fun and sickness-free and worry-free, and it's just what we give our attention to, growth. So just going back to that, when you reselect for yourself in every single relationship, what is it that you want? What is it that you want in a partnership? What is it that you want? You don't just want to look like, oh, she's married and that's probably good, or he's married and probably that is great. No, you want to choose for yourself. Just being married is not good enough. You want to be deep in the relationship. You want to be in a friendly relationship. You want to be in a fun relationship. You want to be in trustful relationship, reliable relationship, relaxing relationship. So you select for yourself and you say to yourself, this is what I'm choosing, but I got to work on that. It's not enough just to plant a seed. You have to water it. You have to make sure there's sunlight. You have to make sure there's some attention. You have to come back every day and water what you plant. It's not just enough to say, I want to have a good husband, I want to have a rich husband. You or me or us, we all have to upgrade towards that. So when I spoke to that woman yesterday, I wanted to kind of like break through that idea that she has, like I definitely want to stay away from a rich person as a potential partner. So I told her, maybe some of them are snobby, 100%, just like anyone could be snobby and too egocentric and too, so to speak, careless about others or others' needs. I accept that. But at the same time, I want you to understand, if you end up with a very quality person, whether it's a man or a woman, you always have to upgrade. You always have to become better. It's not a matter of, there's a certain energy currency that they are on. And if you don't invest in your body, in your spirit, in your mental state, in your emotional state, if you don't always invest in deep therapy, in cleansing, in dieting wisely, in exercising wisely, in throwing yourself into a spa for a day, in giving yourself like enormous comfort, wishing for yourself that you should have enormous amount of comfort at home or wherever you are living or working, then you are not vibing on that currency. A rich person that you want to meet requires a lot of day-to-day investment. And it's not necessarily money investment. It's a certain discipline. It's a certain honorability. It's a certain quality that you give yourself every day. That I don't eat. That I don't speak about. That I invest my energy into. I give myself a solid time to give, for instance, to open my body through, whether it's Tai Chi, I give myself a solid hour or two to do yoga the way I like, the way I enjoy. So you raise your vibrations. I brought a funny example to that woman yesterday. I said, listen, I have a certain crowd of people that listen to me and follow me and honor me, and they want they're ready to pay money to be with me on a session. But let's say if I want to be a therapist for Hollywood stars, if I want to be among those therapists that serve those stars, those actresses and singers, what do I need to do? It could be a wish, or it could be a decision, right? A wish is more of a childish kind of state of being. A decision, when you make a decision, you say, if J-Lo is going to look at me now, she's going to say, her therapist, there has to be some energy from me that I invest in myself. I give myself that time. I give myself a lot of discipline, a lot of attention to myself, to self-care, to my body, to my diet, to my style of communication, to my style of holding myself in the presence of others. So it's not just enough to wish I want to be a therapist for a star. We have to get there. So similarly for the lifestyle, you say to yourself, I want to be married to somebody who is conscious. I want to be married to somebody who is with it, who is accomplished. So what do I do today to get there? It's not a snobby decision, and it's not egocentric decision. It's a commitment to work on yourself, to upgrade yourself. A person that is, so to speak, accomplished and has billions and has multiple properties, a beautiful setting, beautiful house. Imagine yourself being there, reactive, not in touch with your inner child, not knowing what you truly want, having some beef with your parents, not understanding what exactly exercise works for you best, which diet is the best for your constitution, not knowing how to wake up and apply discipline day in and day out, and yet be so tuned in, honoring if you need a downtime and a quiet time, etc. So just imagine yourself the mismatch between that person that went on and accomplished a lot in their life, and you want to come close to them, you want to attract those people, and your daily life, regretting, feeling sorry, being confused, I don't know, a lot of I don't knows a day, a lot of I'm not comfortable with, a lot of blames, a lot of discomfort, a lot of kind of regrets, a lot of past thoughts just reoccurring, a lot of kind of whining energies, right? And you say to yourself, do I really match that person that worked on themselves, broke through themselves, not dependent on anyone, accomplished everything on their own, reached that heights on their own? Where am I holding? And then the wish right away becomes a decision. So just going back to that example that I said, when you step out from a certain party and you say, I need a sleep, right? That is a definition of healthy self-boundaries, where you choose yourself over some fun or some fun gathering or some fun activities that somebody set it up for you or invited you, and you don't feel bad leaving, because you're not trying to like please anyone. The only person you're pleasing is if you truly need a sleep, you go and you excuse yourself, you hug them warmly, and you just leave the place, right? The difference between a self-centered person, besides the fact that they're not in tune with what they truly need, food, sleep, quiet time, alone time, bath time, just like sorting something that's on their mind that consumes them, besides the fact that they are all bombarded and they come to the party, they also come and they preach and they teach and they let everyone know how to live their life, and they take over and they make like uncomfortable vibes for others to be around. Basically, the person is not a source of relaxation and laughter and letting go and just like as if they're like transparent, right? So that is self-centered. That is the definition of a person who is self-consumed and self-centered. So just recap, so to speak, here. When you're so scared to create your boundaries and you're so scared to make sure that, oh, I want to come across like I'm a humble person, I'm people's person, I'm here for everyone, I'm comfortable, I'm approachable, I'm genuine, I'm kind, etc., etc. So me setting boundaries will make me look like I'm that Miss Assumed Queen. Yeah, so I want you to know people respect that a lot if it's done from a good conscious place where you're actually very warm and very kind and you're very grateful, but you step out because it doesn't suit you. If you come to a certain studio and you paid your fees and it doesn't suit you, you right away get up and you leave. You don't stay there because you paid, or because you have to stay, or because it's going to make them uncomfortable, or because they committed their time, or because they came just for you. You just say, I'm so grateful that you came, and I'm so grateful you showed me that 5-10 minutes. I think I'm going to look somewhere else. That's not exactly what I'm looking for. And it's so honorable. It's so beautiful. I try that many times whenever because it's a friend, because it's a family member, you should consult, and you are capable of helping, and why don't you give a discount? And I so many times tried, and so many times it collapsed. And whenever I just give my own price that I truly feel I deserve, people stay with me for a number of years and they come back with joy. And whenever it's discounted, it's always a crash. It's always something that doesn't continue growing. Why? Because it was based on disrespect. You disrespected yourself, so you basically giving a disrespect to continue growing, and it's not going to grow. So I just want you to try those exercises that I listed here. Understand the difference between, or write for yourself, what's the difference between a person that comes in and declares to everyone, this is the luxury that I'm only accepting now, and this is the style I only deserve, and I don't mix in with people that are not up to my level, and so to speak, like a little bit snobbish. And what's the difference between the person that always chooses for themselves what's right? It could be a sleep, it could be a right type of food, it could be a comfortable settings, it could be a good pillow, it could be nice warm socks when you need for your cold feet, it could be a good cup of water, it could be, I'm not going to respond to that phone call right now, and I'm going to respond when I'm able to, when I'm resourceful. When you make again and again those choices for yourself, you generate honorability, you generate love, self-love, and in your presence, people don't even ask who you are anymore. They just want to serve you, they just want to give you. They just want to be part of your interest. They just want to continue your interest for you. They want to be part of that continuous choosing self over some program which is good idea that might look for someone as a good idea. Here you're defined as a good daughter, here you're defined as a good mother, here you're defined as a good wife, and it's okay to neglect yourself and it's okay to betray yourself, right? So that will never generate energy where people want to serve that. Who understands the difference? Just send hearts, please. If you with me, if you understood what I mean, and if you see that fine line between, so to speak, declaring for yourself, I'm a queen and I deserve high standards, I deserve a good husband, and I deserve good quality life, and where you start with yourself, choosing that quality for yourself each time, not necessarily based on just another day was a discussion with a woman where she was trying to fight with me that she's not going to do any meditations. She's like, it's not for me. When I'll have enough money, when I'll have a good husband, when I'll have everything settled, I could allow myself to meditate. So I said, exactly, that is the story where you choose yourself, where you choose the time, you set the time, so your thoughts are not bombarding you during meditation. So you set the tone for a day. You are in a rhythm with your own vibrations. You feel your gratitude. You're in touch with your gratitude. You're in touch with your presence. You're in touch with your body. You're grateful for your body. You're grateful for all the function in your body. When you do those little meditations, that most probably will bring a good money flow and good partner, because you are whole, you are connected. When you are disconnected, you most probably will invite some disconnected ideas about how to make money, some disconnected concepts how to choose a partner, because you're coming from a state of being disconnected. You're not all arriving home, right? So meditation is exactly the tool for that. Whereas a lot of people say, when I have A, B, C, D, when I have a good husband that will support my meditation studio, of course I'll sign in, and of course I'll go every day. Exactly that. If you want to re-choose the quality of your life, if you want to re-choose the setting, and so to speak, like some people say, an abuse and potential abuse, and like people coming without sense of boundaries into your life, that's a perfect time to meditate. That's a perfect time to reselect. What is it that I want? And since I selected certain standards, every day I'm going to work towards that. Okay, thank you so much for your attention. Hope it was beneficial and interesting. Please share this video with others. We actually right now have a promotion going on for the winter season where we give amazing discounts for both English speaking and Russian speaking. Please join us. Allow yourself to accept. Actually, I'm going to do another recording here or maybe somewhere else, maybe on Telegram, where I'm going to explain the concept of gifts, what allowing yourself means, what is accepting, what is attracting a certain like a gift flow into your life. What does that mean? It could be a gift in the form of a good health. It could be a gift in the form of just a good relationship or a good quality of life or comfort or etc., or just a ring, just because you deserve it. Like allowing that flow to open up into your life. It's also a state of being. It's a focus. It requires a certain focus where you feel and you fixate it. You have to deserve everything. You have to work for everything. You have to get there. Like we spoke a little bit here that if you have certain standards, you have to get there, right? So it's coming from a good stimulating place, right? But there is an element of gifts that you want also to open up to. May it be occasional, may it be constant, that you understand that life is a gift. The mere the life itself that you are breathing in and out is a gift that you're given. And if you center yourself on that focus, that you were brought into this world through a gift, you are holding a gift, which is life. Our body is a gift. Our, whatever we see in nature, all of it is a gift. There are a lot of gifts. And if we focus our attention on so many gifts that are given to us every day, we just extend it a little bit further to those things that we feel we need to deserve, and we need to get there, and we need to reach there, and we need to, so to speak, grow into, right? So gift is something that actually is a state of being. It's also a certain focus that we could hold on to. So you're welcome to spoil yourself with gifts that we're giving only for 5 days. There's going to be a discount for Hanukkah and for New Year, for those that celebrate New Year, etc. People that want to give themselves, honor themselves, give themselves presents. It's a really important, deep therapy to allow yourself to buy things for yourself just because you deserve it. Okay, my dear, thank you so much.